And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. Welcome inside the nice, cool Wheat Street Ice Center here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Welcome to another show of Oklahoma Sports Scene. Take a look at our headliners joining us on the show today, including Superman. That's right, Superman is on the show. Roy Williams, OU All-American Hall of Famer, an incredible Superman play against Texas 2001. We'll relive that and much more with Roy Williams. Also on the show, Barry Lewis, the Tulsa World Hall of Fame sports writer. Of course, he is also their prep editor. We'll preview the high school football season. That starts with, of course, previews this week. Next week, kick it off for real. 300 high schools, 3,000 athletes across the state of Oklahoma. And Andy Scurto will be here to talk about his fabulous Wheat Street Ice Center and also his Tulsa World hockey and on his indoor pro football team. And we'll join Bill Hancock in Paris, actually just back from Paris. He had a special correspondent to the Tulsa World, talk about his experiences there for the Summer Olympics. That was Bill's 15th Summer Olympic Games. And we'll have our Thoroughbred Race Report. Remington Park now underway with the Thoroughbred season. First, let's check our Tulsa World Hot Topics. It's finally here. The 2024 college football season kicks off this Saturday, August 24th. It's 0 week. Most of the nation's Division I teams start next week, including our Big Four. But here are some of the top games scheduled for this Saturday, August 24th, including in Dublin, Ireland, Florida State, Georgia Tech, 11 a.m. on ESPN. We have Montana State and New Mexico. Also, Norfolk State, Florida A&M is a big MAC SWAC challenge. SMU at Nevada, Delaware State at Hawaii, just some of the games on Saturday. And next week, the Big Four kickoff. Thursday, Tulsa gets it going with a 7 p.m. kickoff at Chapman Stadium against Northwestern State. Then the next night, Friday, August 30th, Temple goes to OU. The Sooners host them at 6 p.m. on ESPN. Then on Saturday, Oklahoma State Cowboys open the 20th season for head coach Mike Gundy, hosting South Dakota State. Team coming into Stillwater, the 29-game win streak and 2 back-to-back national championships in Division II. And on Saturday as well at 6:30 at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock, Arkansas, the Razorbacks host Arkansas Pine Bluff. The Oklahoma City Thunder is scheduled to tip off the upcoming season on a pair of road contests. The Denver Nuggets, October 24th, and then Chicago Bulls on the 26th. They host the Atlanta Hawks, the team's first home opener at Paycom Center Sunday, October the 27th. Remember, they also come here on October 10th for a preseason game against New Zealand. Tulsa Drillers closed out its only homestand in August, finishing a 6-game series of Midland at One Oak Field. They won the series 4-2, had a team record 4 walk-off victories in 5 games. Drillers now hit the road for 2 6-game series. At first place Springfield this week, on to Corpus Christi next week. They return home then to close out the regular season, September 3rd through 8th to host San Antonio. FC Tulsa had 2 matches this past week. They tied New Mexico 3-3 here at One Oak Field on August the 14th. That gave them 5 straight unbeaten matches. Then they went to Memphis, though, and lost 2-0 again at Memphis. That was on the 17th of August. Now they head to Detroit for a match with Detroit City FC. That's going to be on August 24th. The next home match for the FC Tulsa squad will be on September the 1st. They'll host the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. That's a 9:05 kick on Sunday. That's September the 1st at One Oak Field. Coming up on Oklahoma Sports Scene, very special guest. It's Superman, Roy Williams, the Hall of Fame OU defensive back, the All-American, talking about his football career, including an incredible play in 2001. You all remember it, Sooner fans, OU Texas, when he became Superman. Talk about that and what almost happened if he'd followed the coach's directions. All that coming up on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Glad you're with us. You'll enjoy the show.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa World, is where it comes to life.
Thoroughbred season at Remington Park continues into December with plenty of winning primetime action. Make plans now for Oklahoma Derby Day on Sunday, September 29th. The lone Sunday afternoon of the season begins at 3 p.m. with the richest race of the season, the Grade 3 $400,000 Oklahoma Derby as the main event. The normal Remington Park Racing Week is Wednesday through Saturday. First race nightly, 6:30 p.m. Visit remingtonpark.com for all post times, group rates, and dining reservations.
You've seen the billboards, you've heard the hype, and now it's time for the Wee Street Ice Center to open its doors and welcome you in. 140,000 square feet, 2 ice rinks, public skating, hockey, arcade, game simulators, and the largest sports bar and grill is sliding into Tulsa. It's the grand opening of the new Wee Street Ice Center, 43rd and Yale. Make your plans, get your skate on, or watch some sports today. The Wee Street Ice Center, now open and ready to serve you. Wee Street Ice Center, 43rd and Yale.
Oklahoma football legend Roy Williams, a Hall of Famer, is our special guest. All you Sooner fans remember one play, OU Texas game 2001. It was the birth of Superman.
Lehman showing blitz. There's the blitz. Touchdown Lehman. Touchdown Oklahoma. Williams got him on the blitz. Lehman on the pick. OU is going to win it again.
Lehman bluffs. Williams gets the play. Sims backs up. Roy Williams just lays out right over the blocker. Remember the last time he was blocked? This time Lehman shows blitz and falls off for the freebie. What a play. What a play by Roy Williams.
What an effort by Williams. Duncan. The extra point. Take a look at number 38. Why he's the premier safety in the land. Over the top of the blitz protector. It flutters. And Lehman strolls in. OU rolling again. Do these guys ever lose a big game? Not today.
Right, first, congratulations on a well-deserved, well-earned spot in the recent Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame induction class. What was that like?
Still surreal. Can't believe I got into the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. Still mind blown. I'm still mind blown, but very fortunate to be inducted with some amazing athletes that were most definitely trailblazers for the state of Oklahoma and their respective sports. But I'm very fortunate to be honored in that class, and I would never, ever, what's the best word? I will forever be grateful for the opportunity to be inducted into it, but at the same time, I don't want to take it for granted because it's such a high honor.
That was a great too. You mentioned you think another guy should have been there before you, and you're pushing for him. He deserves a Hall of Fame spot. Your old linebacker friend, Rocky Kalmus.
Yes, sir. I will never waver on my thoughts on Rocky Kalmus going in before me. I felt that he should have, well-deservingly, should be in before me because he's Sooner born, Sooner bred. Jinx boy, and shoot, high school champion, college champion, and a champion in his own right and his own business that he has going on in Tennessee. But I felt that he most definitely, Rocky, should have been in before me. But I don't say that in disrespect to the voters or anything. That's just how I feel, just because I know what his heart bleeds, and that's that crimson and cream.
Well, in 1999, Bob Stoops arrived. The next year, you guys, the perfect season of the national championship. Some of your memories of those times with Bob Stoops.
It was not all roses. Let's just say that. Chocolate cake and roses. It was not. It was a tough transition, but it was a transition that was needed. As everybody's seen in 2000, it was most definitely a transition that was needed. But it was a tough transitional period between the coaches because they were young, energetic, very fiery, which what I felt that we needed that because the proof was in the pudding. '99 we had a winning season, and then 2000 we went undefeated, and then 2001 we had a winning season of 10-2. But I loved every moment. No, let me not lie. I did not love every moment. I didn't love every moment in '99 because it was just everybody was tiptoeing around each other, not knowing, it just trying to figure out how everybody was going to gel. And then, but once everything started gelling, and then we started showing and winning ways, then it became a phenomenal process to, understand winter workouts, summer workouts, all the work that you're putting into it. You're getting great results. So the more that you work in the off season, the better your results are going to be in season. So that was so much fun to be able to see all the hard work that we put in the off season pay off on Saturdays that we played.
That 2001 Superman season, the Sooners would be 10-2, beat Arkansas in the Cotton Bowl. Were named the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, the Jim Thorpe Award winner, first team All-American, and decided now was the time to head to the NFL. Talk about that decision and what it was like to be picked by the Dallas Cowboys in that first round.
It wasn't that tough. It was a tough decision to leave the University of Oklahoma. I love my school, love my teammates, love the coaches. But having a talk with Coach Bob, he said, hey, I'm all for you leaving. Let's just call the NFL and see where you'll be projected. They said I think a top 15 pick, and that decision became very easy for me to make. Still a tough decision, but I made the decision to leave. I left, and people don't know, but in my 11th year, I was interviewed by the yearbook, and they asked me, where did I see myself in 5 years? And I said, playing for the Dallas Cowboys. And to the day, 5 years later, I was playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
The 8th pick in that first round by the Dallas Cowboys, went on to NFL career 2002, 2008, and he was Cincinnati Bengals. But your NFL career, 593 tackles, 20 career interceptions, 11 fumbles. And what was more fun, NFL or OU college football?
College football. It meant more to me in college football. It meant more. There was no pay gap difference, so it was everybody for college was playing for the same reasons. So it meant more to me in college. It was fun to play in the NFL because as a kid or watching people that I like wanted to mimic my game after, like a Ronnie Lott or Deion Sanders, just wanting to showcase my talents on the football field. I was able to do that in the NFL, and I had a great time doing it. But nothing can replace Sooner Nation and playing in front of our Sooner faithful.
Hey, Roy, catch us up with Roy Williams now. What's Roy Williams now after football?
I am a father, husband of 3. Been married almost 8 years now. Enjoying my time as an entrepreneur. I own a security company. We've been in business a little over 11 years now. We operate in over 30 plus states. I'm just keeping my head down and just minding my business and taking care of my family.
We'll be back with Roy Williams, part 2, talking about some of the changes in college football recently. And again, what he thinks of the Sooners going to the SEC. More with Superman after this break.
It's time. Time to get back to the basics. Time to meet up with family and friends. Time to play ball. It's time to cheer on your Tulsa Drillers. It's Hornsby time. It's Tulsa time in the heart of the city. It's time to fire it up.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories at our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
As the sun rises over eastern Oklahoma, we are devoted to one thing: improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends, your neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Now we're back with OU Hall of Fame. Defensive back, first team All-American, the man known as Superman around the Sooner campus, Roy Williams. Roy, a lot of changes in college football recently. Let's talk first about NIL, name, image, likeness. Is it good for the game?
I think it's good for the game. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know enough about NIL, but kudos to the kids that are able to take advantage of, using their name, image, and likeness. But I don't know enough to really. I think it's good for the game. I think kids that really need more than scholarship money, and they have an opportunity to make good money off their name, image, and likeness. So I'm all for it. It can get out of hand at times, I think, but I mean it's a double-edged sword. I mean it's good on one end, but bad on the other. I don't like the fact that you can make a decision to go to a college, but you play 1 year at one school, you have a good year, and then now another school notices your true talent that school is seeing that in you, and then you can leave and jump ship. And I don't like that. I don't think that's right.
That's the point that we're talking about. Yeah, there's a lot of discussion about that for sure, Roy. All right, let's turn to this 2024 Oklahoma Sooner football team. Brand new era for Oklahoma football heading to the SEC. Your thoughts on that?
I feel that, no disrespect to the Big 12, I felt that it ran its course. And OU had a great run in the Big 12, and I feel that there's a new challenge in the SEC, and I think that Coach Venables will have those young men ready to compete at a high level. It's not going to be easy. I'm not even going to say it is, but I feel that those guys will be ready for that challenge.
What do you know about this 2024 OU football team? Think they're up to that challenge, Roy, to go to the SEC now?
I think they understand the standard that what has been placed on them, of what Coach Venables is expecting out of them, and I feel that they'll meet that standard. I don't think it's going to happen overnight, but I feel that this 2024 team has some great leadership, and I feel that they will be able to, I think they'll win at least 9 to 10 games this season. I don't think that's far-fetched, but they have to execute and do what they have to do to win those games.
Take a look at the SEC preseason media poll, where they put the Oklahoma Sooners, Roy, 8th. That's the middle of the 16-team SEC league. Georgia, Texas, Alabama on top 1, 2, 3, but Oklahoma 8th. Your thoughts on that?
I mean, polls don't matter. Your play and your actions on the football field do. So it doesn't matter where you start; it's about where you finish. And so I never looked at polls, and polls don't even really mean much other than somebody's opinion on where they think you belong. And we don't worry about what people think about us. We just let our pads and our football play speak for themselves.
Roy, it seems like all levels of football, it's all about offense now. You're part of great defenses in Oklahoma football. Is the defense catching up at all with these wide open offenses?
No, and they will never catch up with the rules that have been in place for offenses to succeed and light up the scoreboards. Defenses are at a disadvantage, and I feel bad for the college athlete nowadays, because there's so many rules of them being disqualified and missing the next game, and it's not fair for defenses to have to go up against these offenses and have no immediate impact as far as a fear factor because these receivers get to run around all free. So, I mean, they're at a disadvantage, but I mean, they're just going to have to, it sucks. They're just going to have to figure it out and play within the rules.
So, Roy, as we finish things up, what do you think's good about college football today? What's bad about college football today?
I feel that being that college football is getting ready to start again, I think that's a good. But I feel that what's bad is that kids that make a commitment to a school can be swept away by another school by the amount of dollars that are offered to them, which is life changing. I get it, but I don't think that's right. If you make a commitment to a school and you sign to a school and you're agreeing to receive payment or whatever, the NIL, however it works, I feel that you need to commit and stay to that commitment. And I feel that, NCAA and NIL has, made it very easy for kids to jump ship for their talent, for their basically their services at another school. And I don't think that's right. But I'm not going to get off my high horse, but I don't think that's right.
Roy, talk about your contribution in support of your alma mater. Your contribution led to the Roy Williams Strength and Speed Complex at OU, and what's that mean to you?
It means everything. I remember when I got the call from Coach Jerry Schmidt. I take pride in knowing that I was the first athlete from Coach Bob Stoops' era to give money back to the university, and I'm actually a two-time donor. I actually donated to the Barry Switzer Center. I have my own National Awards winner wall inside the Barry Switzer Center as well. And I take pride in that because I love my university and everything that it's allowed me to be able to do outside of college football and professional and coming back. I mean, it's just opened up so many doors for me business-wise. Roy
Williams, Superman, and so much pleasure to talk with you, Roy, and get your thoughts on football, but mostly to celebrate your accomplishments at the University of Oklahoma. And again, congratulations on a well-deserved, well-earned spot in the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Right back with more on Oklahoma Sports Scene after this timeout.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center. The ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we are devoted to one thing: improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends, your neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis. Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa World, is where it comes to life.
And welcome back inside the very cool Lee Street Ice Center on this hot August day in Oklahoma. Joining us is Barry Lewis, Hall of Fame prep editor of Tulsa World. Also covers the Tulsa Drills. We'll talk about them as well. But right now, the image focus on high school football. Barry, about time. Ready to play football here.
It's ready or not. Here it is. And this is a fun time of the year.
Yeah.
Seems like it's taken forever to get here, but it's just about here. This week is, of course, the fall previews. Teams have their last dress rehearsals, basically, and then they start the regular season next week, August 29th and 30th.
And the 2024 season kicks off with over 300 high schools in Oklahoma playing football. It's more than 3,000 athletes from classes 6A all the way down to C. Let's start at the top, 6A1. Have you ever seen a team like the Bixby Spartans?
Not over a decade.
Wow.
Pretty incredible. 9 state championships in the last 10 years.
6 in a row now, right? Is that right?
I've almost lost track. Yes,
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
6 in a
that's right,
row.
yeah.
And of course, the last 2 of those have been in 6A1 since moving to that classification. And I'm going to be picking them again because my theory is you don't go against a team that's won so many championships in a short amount of time as Bixby has. But they could be vulnerable this year.
Well, they've won 74 of their last 75 games, averaging 59.6 points a game. And Barry, they've scored 60-plus points 31 times.
Yes, they're quite the juggernaut,
Wow.
and they've got some key players, but they also graduated quite a few players from last year. And Jenks and Union did very well in the offseason adding players in the, quote, transfer portal.
Yes.
And so they're going to be tough to hold off if you're Bixby. So I think it's pretty wide open in 6A1, and then you don't want to forget Owasso either.
Yeah. And, of course, that starts as that the battle, of course, the Battle of the Burbs, they call it. With this time, it's going to be Bixby playing at Owasso. That could help the Rams.
Well, it's not going to hurt. They played. This will be the 5th time they played each other, like in the last 24 months, and none of those games have been in Owasso. So, from a Rams standpoint, I think that changes the mindset a little bit, gives you a little bit more confidence playing before the home fans, and they always draw great crowds at Owasso.
Yep.
It's a nice home field advantage they have there. And so I think they can also, even though there are no moral victories and losses, I think a positive for Owasso is that for 2.5 quarters in last year's semifinals, Owasso played Bixby dead even. It was 14-14 midway through the 3rd quarter, and hardly anyone can stay close to Bixby.
Yeah.
And so I think if you're Owasso, at least those players returning from that game, you think, we just got to finish it this time. I mean, we gave them everything they wanted for 2.5 quarters, and then, as Bixby will do, if you make a mistake, Bixby will capitalize, and then it just snowballed.
The legend retires. Bill Blankenship, a new head football coach at Owasso. Talk about Antonio Graham. What do you think of him?
Well, I've been impressed by Antonio ever since I covered him as a player 20 years ago. Time flies. When he was linebacker at Union.
Yeah.
And so I've been impressed by him for a long time. I always thought that when he was the defensive coordinator at Owasso and the assistant coach, that he had head coaching potential. So it's great to see him get his opportunity at Owasso. I think he's as prepared as you can be for this job.
Union has Shaker Rising, of course, outstanding quarterback. Now this is senior year, coming off a 10-2, 11-2, 11-2 season, but no state titles. Some time for Union, though.
Seems like Shaker's been around forever. He's been such a big part of the sports scene in Oklahoma high school football for the past 4 years. And he's done everything practically that you'd want a quarterback to do over the last couple of years, except to win a state title. He's had great seasons. Last year's was injury shortened a little bit, but very frustrating couple of semifinal losses, Union, the last 2 years, because other than that, they've had great seasons. So the key for Union is how do we get past that semifinal hurdle and get to the championship game? And then if you get to the championship game, anything can happen, because you look at those last 2 years, those losses could have easily been wins, but they let them slip away, especially last year when they were up 21-0 on Jenks.
Keith Riggs, the coach of the Jenks Trojans, they're trying to bounce back with 8-5 season. Saw a stat, it's amazing, that the Trojans have either won or finished second 23 of the last 31 years in Oklahoma high school football, and there's not been since 1992 that a 3-year starter or a 3-year player for Jenks has not played for a state championship.
It's a pretty remarkable run, of course, from many of those years. Alan Trimble was the head coach. And I think Coach Riggs has done a tremendous job, a very underrated job in a sense of keeping that Jenks tradition going. I don't think he gets enough credit for, because it's always tough to follow a legend, which Coach Trimble
certainly was,
but Coach Riggs has brought the Trojans to the championship game 5 of the last 6 years. That's great under any circumstance. And to do that when he's following Coach Trimble, I think it's just an amazing job that he's done.
Josh Blankenship coached the Broken Arrow Tigers, and they got to get things going. 3-8, 5-7. They're not used to that at BA.
Yep. Broken Arrow needs to show improvement this season. I think they will. I think things are trending up for them. They've got a lot of young players this year and who have experience. There have been some growing pains last year. I think there will probably be some this year. But I think everything is pointing for the Broken Arrow Tigers to show improvement, and they really need to show improvement.
How about quickly some other schools you look at in other classes through the state?
Well, in 6A2, I think Muskogee is a strong favorite to repeat again. They just got better during the offseason.
Yeah.
They've, of course, got Bird Ficklin, the All-World Offensive Player of the Year, back, and he's being joined by Bartlesville's career rushing leader, P.J. Wallace. So that's good. They're going to be quite formidable. And then in 5A, Midwest City, Carl Albert, they've done pretty much in 5A what Bixby's done in 6A.
Right, yeah.
So enough said.
Yes.
They're a juggernaut. And then in 4A, Wagner's going to be very hungry to atone.
So close last year, yeah.
Yes, they won in 2022 and they weren't supposed to win. And then they lost last year in the championship game when they were supposed to win. So, that just shows you anything can happen on Friday Night Lights.
Real quick, Drillers baseball. Getting hard to believe the season's just about over. One more homestand left.
Yes, that'll be September 3rd through the 8th against San Antonio, and hopefully the Drillers will still be in playoff contention then. It's been quite a job manager Scott Hennessy's done trying to keep this team competitive despite all the player call-ups. But he manages to do so. It's just this past week with 4 walk-off wins in 5 games.
Unbelievable,
That was pretty incredible, just what a job he can do managing to keep this team in contention, winning these close games.
Barry Lewis, the Hall of Famer of the Tulsa World, giving you a preview of high school football and the Drillers as well. Come right back with Andy Scurto, guy who made this place happen. We're going to have a nice chat with him when we come back to this nice, cool Wee Street Ice Center.
You've seen the billboards, you've heard the hype, and now it's time for the Wee Street Ice Center to open its doors and welcome you in. 140,000 square feet, 2 ice rinks, public skating, hockey, arcade, game simulators, and the largest sports bar and grill is sliding into Tulsa. It's the grand opening of the new Wee Street Ice Center, 43rd and Yale. Make your plans, get your skate on, or watch some sports today. The Wee Street Ice Center, now open and ready to serve you. Wee Street Ice Center, 43rd and Yale.
Thoroughbred season at Remington Park continues into December with plenty of winning primetime action. Make plans now for Oklahoma Derby Day on Sunday, September 29th. The lone Sunday afternoon of the season begins at 3 p.m. with the richest race of the season, the Grade 3 $400,000 Oklahoma Derby as the main event. The normal Remington Park Racing Week is Wednesday through Saturday. First race nightly, 6:30 p.m. Visit RemingtonPark.com for all post times, group rates, and dining reservations.
Our story. It lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa World, is where it comes to life.
We welcome you back to the Oklahoma Sports Scene. Andy Scurto, the owner of the Oilers, and most importantly, of the Wee Street Ice Center. Thank you, Andy, for having us here with 100 plus outside, 59 degrees above the ice set here. Good planning.
Yeah, nice and cool in here in the summer.
Fantastic. What about this facility? You pleased with how it's turned out?
It's going really well. We're still working out a few kinks with some temperature, humidity, as every ice rink does. But we're getting really close, so we're getting great feedback, great attendance. People are enjoying the ice center, so I'm real pleased. Real pleased.
And a big international event, that knife and axe throwing too here,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that was fun. Especially when we put a bar on the ice and they're drinking beer and throwing ice. Didn't seem very safe, but we had no injuries, so we're going to call it good.
This is a great facility for big events like that, for parties, for watch parties. The OU Club of Tulsa talked about watching all the OU away games up here for the party.
Yeah, so we do watch parties here for obviously any of the Oiler away games. We're doing some Drillers nights. We're doing a lot of different watch parties. It's all on our website. You can see it. But you come in, we do some raffles, some prizes, and have the game up on the big screen.
I like the idea the fans can come here, enjoy it, Puck's great sports bar, and then get a ride to the game.
Yeah, that's our drive and dine.
Yeah.
So you can come in and eat dinner and have a few beers, whatever you want to do, and then we bus them over to the game, bring it right up to the front, and then the game's over, the bus is waiting for you, we bring it right back here. You can park here for free, and the busing's free, so all you got to do is come have a meal at Puck's, and we'll bus you over to the game.
Andy showed up here 4 years ago. Nothing's been the same since. What a dynamo. First he bought the Oilers hockey franchise. All of a sudden he bought the Oilers Ice Center out there on Mingo, and then that wasn't enough. Then all of a sudden, indoor football. What got you to think of that?
We needed something to do in the off season.
Yeah.
Right? And it fit perfect. I'm a huge football fan. I love football. I've always enjoyed indoor football. So when the opportunity came up to buy an expansion franchise, I grabbed it. And it's a lot of fun. The fans love it. We have a different group of fans. Some overlap. But it's a lot of fun, and it keeps the team busy throughout the summer. Whole different, and selling tickets, doing what we do, just entertaining our fans.
I know you're quite a visionary, but how do you envision the Dillard's department store turn into a 2 ice rink ice center?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
It was an interesting story. I mean, I was looking to do something to add more ice to Tulsa.
Yeah.
One sheet wasn't doing it. We were trying to expand the Mingo facility, and there was not enough land for the parking.
Right.
So I was trying to find another location, and the real estate agent just asked me, what do you think of a Macy's building? I said, I don't know, let's go take a look at it. And I got the plans, and you start laying the ice rinks in, and said, I think it'll work. So you hire the architecture group who designed it and made it work. And I think we built a phenomenal facility. It's different than most ice rinks. It's very open air, very open concept. You can see almost both rinks from anywhere in the place, and it's just really nice atmosphere and a fun place to come watch hockey, play hockey, and figure skating and curling and everything else we have going on here.
And you're actually going to play a hockey game here, right? A preseason game.
Yeah, October 12th. The Oilers will play a preseason game against Wichita.
Again, this facility, you haven't been out here yet. You need to come out here. 2 NHL-sized ice rinks, right? It's east side is pretty much the Oilers with their training facilities, great locker room, great training room, everything you need first class.
Yeah, so that's everything the Oilers need for practice. We have the new Junior Oilers NA3 team locker room on this side too, so they'll be here. They play their first game September 27th, so that'll be the juniors team. That'll be a lot of fun. And then we've got the pro shop.
Right.
We're selling a lot of merchandise, a lot of equipment out of the pro shop, so people finally have a place to get their equipment, get it sized properly, and try it on. All the locker rooms, the game simulator rooms, the arcade, and of course Puck's, which you should be able to see in the background. Our very large restaurant that you can have a full meal and enjoy a steak or whatever you want.
Talk about the big memorabilia collection up here. That's fairly new.
Yeah, so that was
Carter?
the Scurto Carter Foundation, the guy who moderates it, which is his dad.
Mike Carter, right?
Yeah, Mike. He came in and said they needed a location for it. It started at the Disney World's ESPN Center.
Remember that, yeah.
It moved to the Gathering Place. And the Gathering Place wanted to move it out because they wanted to put something else in. So he asked me, do you have a place we could put this? And I said, sure.
Yeah.
We have a lot of room. It turns out to be an absolutely amazing memorabilia collection.
Really
it's got
is, yeah.
autographs from everybody you can imagine who's a big name athlete. Baseball, football, hockey, it's all in there. It's just every day I walk over and look at it, I see something new and go, wow, that's so-and-so. You know, it's kind of a cool thing to have here. It's a nice, a memorial for Scott, and it's a great thing to come see and look around.
People ask me, what's the charge? What kind of fees do you have to charge to come in and skate and things like that?
Well, the ice center is free. You're welcome to come in anytime.
Wow.
The on-ice skating is, what is our skate rental? Depends on the day of the week, the time. We run specials.
But all reasonable. So,
10 to 15 bucks.
Yeah, right.
$10 to $15. You can come out and have fun. On the last Saturday every month, we do the sip and skate. So we actually put a bar out there and do adults only.
Oh, nice.
So a lot of different events we have going on, a lot of different options. We have the arcade for the kids. The nice thing about the facility is if you're a family here, one kid may want to be in the arcade, one's on ice, the parents are in the restaurant having a drink or dinner.
Yeah.
So we kind of have something to entertain the whole family.
And what are the hours, Andy? It seems like early morning to late night.
We're generally open 8 a.m.
Right.
Well, we are open 8 a.m.
Right.
Activities start between 8 and 10. The restaurant opens at 11, and then we operate till at least midnight every day.
Yeah, you have teams out here, men's leagues teams playing hockey late at night.
Oh yeah, they play till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
And how late is pucks open then?
Pucks is open till people go home, generally. The kitchen closes about midnight.
Yeah.
But the bar will stay open until people are done.
Now, are you done in terms of this facility? Anything else you have planned right now?
Right now, I'm concentrating on getting this facility at 100% where I want it. We have the new juniors team starting, so that is something new that's starting up in September. So we have, that's like running a full professional hockey team.
In Oklahoma State coming here to skate too?
OSU will be playing all their games here, yeah.
And we'll have more with Andy Scurto, the owner of the Tulsa Ice Holders, the Tulsa Indoor Pro Football Team, and this fantastic We Shoot Ice Center. But first, let's go back to the Summer Olympics in Paris, France. A good friend of mine, Bill Hancock, is a special correspondent there, ran the media department, and also did special journals every day in the Tulsa World. He recaps for us his adventures in Paris.
It's time. Time to get back to the basics. Time to meet up with family and friends. Time to play ball. It's time to cheer on your Tulsa Drillers. It's Hornsby time. It's Tulsa time in the heart of the city. It's time to fire it up.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa World, is where it comes to life.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center. The ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
Well, I've had our friend Bill Hancock on the show so many times, of course, the college football playoff executive director. But today, he's our special correspondent for the Summer Olympic Games in Paris. Just finished the volunteer with the Media Center for his 16th Olympic Games, going all the way back to Los Angeles in 1984. So I guess, Bill, I've got to start with, bonjour, mon ami, comment allez-vous?
Bonjour, très bien, et vous?
So I guess we learned something in our college French lessons, right?
For me, it was 53 years ago at Gettinger Hall at the University of Oklahoma, where I took French. And if I'd gone to class more, I might be really good at it.
Well, Bill, it sounded like in all your journal reports there that you and Nikki just had a great time in Paris.
Well, we did. We loved the Olympics. I am 16 for 16 in having a great time at the Olympics. But this one was special, of course, because of Paris.
Yeah, well, we had incredible, world record performances and great performance by all the great athletes from around the world. It seemed to me that the Paris Games were all about, and the star of the Paris Games were the venues in Paris.
Well, yeah, the venues were unbelievable. Of course, starting with that beach volleyball venue there in the shadow of the Eiffel Tower. And as soon as they announced that they were going to build a venue there, I think we all thought, oh my goodness, that will be world class. And it was. It's almost indescribable. But the Grand Palais, just all the venues. The wrestling judo venue was off the charts. No one will ever have venues better than what Paris offered.
And of course, it's also the opening ceremonies up the famous Seine River.
Yeah, and like I think most people, when I first read that they were going to do it on the river, I thought, no, that'll never work. But by golly, it did. And our seats were at the Trocadero, where the ceremonies and all were. But we got to watch everything else on big video screens And it was just wonderful. I had hoped to watch a replay of it on Peacock, but you can't do that. They don't offer streaming of the ceremonies. So I'll have to figure out a way, or maybe sometime later get a chance to watch it. But that was a spectacular night. We did wait an hour and 45 minutes in a security line to get in, including 3 different security checkpoints. But it was well worth the wait, and even I suppose you could tell on TV, but it rained.
Yes.
And we were drenched head to toe. It was as if we had been swimming in the Seine River. But it was spectacular.
And I think some of the other venues, I mean, the equestrian at the Palace of Versailles, seriously? Wow.
Amazing. What a clever idea. And they pulled it off. They didn't have as many seats for fans at Versailles as they did in other places and have had for equestrian and other events. But what an incredible setting.
So Bill, take us inside that media center. Feeding out to the world, of course, must be about 24/7, I guess. I'm trying to think of all the different people, all the languages, all the volunteers from all over how many countries. This is volunteer for you, right? This is not a paid position.
Yeah, volunteer. And I mean, I would pay them and secretly, don't tell them that. But the main press center is the hub of everything for media. There are private offices for some outlets, USA Today, New York Times, Washington Post. They all have private offices for their staffs, which can be up to, I think, New York Times may have had 20. So lots of people. Then they have a big space for all media work, dubbed the bullpen, and that is 24/7. And the beauty of it for me is you never know what language the person you encounter in the hallway will be speaking. And I told someone I did okay with my French, decent with my French, but I am determined to learn the language of the next Summer Games host country.
Fortunately for you, that's Los Angeles, and that they speak a different language out there in California too, Bill. But that's kind of full circle for you, right? That's where you started your Olympic coverage back in '84.
'84. Yeah, it was spectacular then. And I remember coming home from that and thinking, I will never get to go to another Olympics. I was 33 years old. I'll never get to go to another one, but I don't care. This was so awesome. I've done it once. It was perfect. And now number 16 is under my belt.
And you're planning for 17, right? In 4 years from now?
Well, I'm hoping 17 will be at Milan in Italy for Winter Games.
That's true. That's right.
LA would be 18 and 28 if the creek don't rise.
So I don't know if we ever top Paris in so many ways, but at least we have Tom Cruise. How do you think LA will do?
Well, I'll tell you, we got to the closing ceremony very early. I've learned to go and just take my work and get a seat in the press section and work on my laptop. And if you're lucky, you can watch rehearsal. And we were lucky enough in Paris to be able to watch rehearsal. And we saw this guy standing on the roof of the stadium. And someone said, "Hey, you know what? That's Tom Cruise." And I'm like, "No." And then pretty soon, well, he leapt off of that roof onto the floor and practiced, taking the flag and jumping on the motorcycle. And but yeah, he rehearsed it one time before the big show. It was pretty thrilling. Movie stars and such are a great part of American culture, certainly here, but also internationally. And I think people were really blown away by the Tom Cruise presence. The whole thing with the handoff is always fun. Paris did a wonderful job of that back in Tokyo. London did a great job. London brought a double-decker red bus to the field. Where would that have been? Beijing, I guess. So the handoffs are always fun, and this one was too.
Bill, I know you were doing some work for the college football playoffs with transatlantic Zoom calls back and forth from Paris, but what's ahead for you now before you make your retirement there at the first of next year?
Well, I will be stepping down the first of next year, but my replacement is already in place and doing the job. So my life now is consultant, advisor, and helping him out wherever he needs help, and really staying in the background. The event is so wonderful, and the new guy's great. Rich Clark is his name, and a 3-star Air Force general, retired. He's going to do a great job with it, and the 12-team CFP, well, the 4-team CFP has been an enormous success. It just couldn't have gone any better, and I think 12 will be the same.
Well, Bill, again, thank you for your great work over there, and we enjoyed your journal coverage in the Tulsa World throughout that. But I was a bit concerned for you and Nikki. Every time I read an article, you're one of the great culinary centers of the world. You're eating ham sandwiches and peanut butter sandwiches and a baguette here and there. I was kind of worried about you. Did you ever get a good meal in France? Some good French wine?
Yeah, I got a little abuse for that, but frankly, we were there to work.
Yeah.
And we'll have a chance to go back and enjoy some of those 5-course dinners with escargot and et cetera. But we had a wonderful breakfast every day. And by the way, I like croissants in America. There's no comparison. Truly, the French know how to do croissants. And yeah, I ate at my desk, and then if I could, I would eat at a venue. We had some wonderful quiche at the fencing venue. So it's the Olympics. It's not a tourist deal, but it is the Olympics in one of the truly special settings that anyone could ever imagine.
Bill, thank you for taking us over there with you. We sure enjoyed your journal coverage and enjoy you as always. I'm sure we'll be talking before the college football playoffs wrap up for you for this final time. But great job over there, my friend.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me on. Great to see you.
Au revoir, mon ami.
Au revoir.
Thoroughbred season at Remington Park continues into December with plenty of winning primetime action. Make plans now for Oklahoma Derby Day on Sunday, September 29th. The lone Sunday afternoon of the season begins at 3 p.m. with the richest race of the season, the Grade 3 $400,000 Oklahoma Derby, as the main event. The normal Remington Park racing week is Wednesday through Saturday. First race nightly, 6:30 p.m. Visit remingtonpark.com for all post times, group rates, and dining reservations.
As the sun rises over eastern Oklahoma, we are devoted to one thing: improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends, your neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
You've seen the billboards, you've heard the hype, and now it's time for the Wee Street Ice Center to open its doors and welcome you in. 140,000 square feet, 2 ice rinks, public skating, hockey, arcade, game simulators, and the largest sports bar and grill is sliding into Tulsa. It's the grand opening of the new Wee Street Ice Center, 43rd and Yale. Make your plans, get your skate on, or watch some sports today. The Wee Street Ice Center, now open and ready to serve you. Wee Street Ice Center, 43rd and Yale.
The 2024 Thoroughbred season at Remington Park is underway. Let's get right to it and take a look at the highlights from opening night. Right to the action on a hot and steamy night for opening night at Remington Park to kick off the season. Here's the opener, Claiming Company, going 5.5 furlongs at the top of the stretch. Then All Flutter, Tootie, Apriati is 7th and trying to move through the dust to the top of the stretch. It's Equilove on top by a little more than a length now. Outside, here's When Judy Calls, trying to roll up into 2nd. Farther out, Tootie full of steam and trying to hang in at the rail is Ms. Hillary. Final 16th, Equilove is clear by 4 and rolling on here. Equilove and Elliott to take the opener, the first of the season, from the outside to the winner's circle by almost 4. Number 11, Equilove, owned and trained by Dick Capalucci of El Paso, Texas, your first winner of the season. The 6-year-old mare was ridden by Stuart Elliott. He was the leading jockey at Remington Park in 2023, and he starts defense of his title with a victory in the very first race of the season. It was bombs away in race number 3. Coming down the stretch, again a quick sprint distance of 5.5 furlongs. And again, another horse from the outside gate post. After that, Wristband, Search and Safari, Send Off, and at the back, Suppose You Dream. Top of the stretch, up front, Brown Reserve has the lead by 3. Here comes Lincoln's Brisket, battling with Mr. Peloton, and also from the outside, Warhawk, and I'm Alive. Smarty Ball making a rally, dips down to an opening inside, and is coming on hard. Here comes Smarty Ball trying to track down Brown Reserve. Outside, I'm Alive rolling hard. Smarty Ball, here's the line, photo finish. At odds of 55-1, I'm Alive, number 11, scores and pays $117.20 for the victory. First big long shot of the season, owned by Mike Castor and Marty Rodriguez of Jones, Oklahoma. Rodriguez, the trainer. Samuel Burgos rode the big long shot. Stakes action started in the final race on opening night. The Governor's Cup. Older horses at 1 1/8. Let's pick it up near the end of the backstretch. Going to the far turn. Unloads, been there throughout without a trace. Tries to keep up. Still just a neck back. And to the outside, number 1 Dude asks for a little bit more by Aramia. Mind That Star has some run and energy to the inside. Just needs some room to get it going. Midway through the turn, well back then to Paluxy, who begins to inch up. And forced ranking dropping the other way. 1/4 mile left in the Governor's Cup. It is Unload there throughout, now by a little more than length, make it 2 to the top of the stretch without a trace. Reaching down, trying to find more, and up the rail, here comes Mind That Star. Race on in the Governor's Cup. Unload. Pressured from the inside and outside is Game Under Elliott. Mind That Star asked for more without a trace, coming back on without a trace. Looked to give it up early in the top of the stretch, but battles back. Unload digs in for more and fights off the threat to win the Governor's Cup. Wagering favorite Unload came through for those who backed him. On the front end throughout, battled down the stretch and held off without a trace in a very game stretch battle to win it by a head. Winchell Thoroughbreds, owner of Las Vegas, their first win in the Governor's Cup. Trainer Steve Asmussen picks up his 7th victory in the Governor's Cup, while Stuart Elliott won the first race of the season and bookended the opening night card with a victory in the Governor's Cup, his first race in that stakes event. The Governor's Cup to Unload. The weekly racing schedule expands to include Thursday for the second week of the season, August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, first race nightly at 6:30 p.m. Do not forget, Thorough Enduro will return. The free online contest to play for the Remington Park races begins on Friday, September 13th. Lots of cash prize money. Grand prize once again this year, an NHC seat to the big Las Vegas tournament in March of 2025, trying to get someone to qualify for the National Horse Players Championship. Good luck in Thorough Enduro. Just go to remingtonpark.com to get more information and play that game. At Remington Park in Oklahoma City, I'm Dale Day. Now back to Sportscene.
Another milestone at Remington Park for Hall of Fame trainer Steve Asmussen. That 7th win in the Governor's Cup ties in with another great trainer over there, Donnie Von Heel. Congratulations, Steve. And next week, right here on Oklahoma Sports Scene, you don't want to miss this show. It's the kickoff of the Big 4 football season. All 4 of our area teams start in game week. We'll have all 4 of their play-by-play announcers on the show. Toby Rowland, the voice of the Sooners. Dave Hunsaker, Pistols firing the Oklahoma State play-by-play announcer. Bruce Howard, longtime announcer for the TU Golden Hurricane. And Chuck Barrett, recent Hall of Famer in Arkansas, longtime voice of the Razorbacks. All right here on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Until then, as we always remind you, be a good sport.